Welcome to Crafty Little Beach. This is Julie. Today I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you. I want to DIY one of these little wood rounds from the Dollar Tree, again with some of those beautiful pink floral stickers from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove my hanger. And I want to frame it out too. So I'm going to be framing it out with some of those cube wood beads from the Dollar Tree. I think these are so cool. And since they lay flat, they do a great job of like framing out projects like that from the Dollar Tree. So this is the color I'm going to use of acrylic paint. It's called Pink Polish. And as you can tell, I'm not going for maximum coverage on this. I actually just kind of want to stain it. So I'm not going to use too much paint, just enough to kind of give me a pink stain. After I put that on there, I just go over it with a wet baby wipe. And that way the wood grain of that sign shows through, so I'm not really covering that up. And it makes it look a little bit more older and vintage, which is definitely what I was going for on this project. I wanted to do a really pretty spring floral sign. So I just stained it, gave it a quick dry. It was a little bit rough, so I gave it a little bit of a sand to get some of that fuzziness off the wood. And then this is the flower sticker we're going to use. This is a very soft pink, which is one reason why I chose to stain the sign like kind of a little bit more of a candy pink, because I want it to be a little bit of a contrast, but definitely go with my pink floral theme that we've been using today. So I kind of like it going straight up and down like that. It's going to fit nicely. I'm going to carefully pull this off. I don't want to rip any of it. And peel and stick this to my sign. If you're going to stain or paint your sign, make sure it's good and dry. Otherwise, it's not going to stick very well. I just go ahead and flatten that out. As you can see, I kind of centered it on the wood ring, but then I'm going to leave like the wood cubes natural color like that. I thought that'd be a nice contrast against the soft pink shades. But I do want to make sure that it stays down. So I'm just going to sand it a little bit just to rough up again the sticker. I kind of like that distressed look. These don't sand as well as the other ones. They kind of do like a dotted aging, but it still kind of made it look old. But I do want to seal this project because I wasn't certain this was going to stay on there really well. So I just went over the top of all of it with some Mod Podge from the Dollar Tree and sealed this sign before we go in and frame it out with the wood beads. And then I thought it needed even a little bit more distressing, so then I just went in with just some white and like a chunky brush, and if I distressed a little bit too much on it, I would just go over it with a baby wipe, kind of blending it all together. Again, I was going very kind of like old school, like Victorian vibes with this spring DIY, so I definitely wanted it to look vintage. So I just keep kind of distressing. I kind of tried to distress it similar to the way the sticker distressed as well until I got the perfect level of distress. And then I'm going to add the wood bead garland to the front of it. Now they kind of wind this around so it doesn't fall off, but that also keeps the wood beads from moving side to side and it kind of makes it get in the way. I'm also going to reattach the hanger, but this time I'm going to go from the back to the front, tie a knot, cut off the little plastic part. That way it's going to hang flatter against my wall and it's not really going to be able to see the little hangers there on the front too much, just a small knot. So I do need to untangle this end to kind of make this work, and it's a little bit better to do this at the beginning so that all of your wood cubes are free flowing. You just kind of have to string that out, and I'm gonna need two to go around this entire wood round because even though these are super cute from the Dollar Tree, they're not super long. And I just go ahead and open at least one end of this one. I probably don't need the other end. And we can start gluing this on. What this is going to do is take this flat sign and make it so much chunkier. And it's just a really easy way to kind of provide a frame for an abnormal shape like this. Like something I'm definitely not going to be able to have a frame for. And I like the added depth, it really helps. So I'm just kind of doing like a quarter at a time and gluing all of my wood beads to it, but leaving them strung together because that's going to kind of help guide it, keep them all attached to each other. But I am trying to glue down every single one, just trying to make sure that I don't overlap the edges too much so I still get that perfect like circular shape. And this is about how far one package will go. So I'm just going to tie the twine to my next package. And I can just push my wood beads up that and continue going with the same pattern all the way around. And I do like the contrast of the natural wood. I'm going to be adding another accent that color too that kind of ties it all together. And I'm glad that I decided not to paint or stain this part of it because I think it turned out really cool. And actually fit perfectly here at the end. You never really know with spacing. And so I just glued that, tied both my strings together, making sure all the wood beads are then tied together. Now this is what I'm going to use to finish it off. This is a vase filler that I found at Target. It's back where the driftwood was at Target. And I have bad news about the driftwood. At least at my Target, they quit carrying it. I have no idea why. It's one of my favorite products in the vase fillers. But these little paper flowers are kind of cool. They're kind of like a paper, kind of like foamy feel. Not really sure what these are made out of. But I chose like a larger one and two small ones. And they're like the same color as the unfinished wood on the frame. So I thought this would tie it in nicely and give another little floral touch. And kind of a larger, more substantial piece as well to make it thicker. So I'm just going to start here with the larger flower, gluing that down, and then glue a smaller flower on each side, just kind of making it kind of over here on the bottom right to kind of give it kind of a wreath feel there as well. And this is how it turned out. I think it's really sweet and romantic looking. Our little pink floral wall hanging for spring. It definitely has that aged look that I was going for. And I'm a big fan of those flowers from Target. I think they're so pretty. And they add another little fun spring element to this DIY side. Just an idea of something that you can do with those little floral stickers from the Dollar Tree.